Welcome, Class 9 students, to an exciting journey into the world of diversity in living organisms. Today, we are diving deep into a fascinating group of plants, gymnosperms, famously known for their naked seeds. Think about the majestic pines, sturdy cedars, and ancient cycads. Over the next few slides, we'll explore what makes these plants unique, starting from the basics and gradually uncovering their complex biology and incredible evolutionary story. Get ready to explore the plant kingdom like never before. Let's begin our exploration with the basics of gymnosperms. What are these naked seed plants and what makes them so special? It's simpler than you think. Gymnosperms are essentially plants that produce seeds which are not enclosed within an ovary wall, hence the term naked seeds. Imagine a pine cone where you can see the seeds directly on the scales. That's a perfect example. The word gymnosperm itself comes from Greek, with gymnos meaning naked and sperma meaning seed. They are among the earliest groups of seed-producing plants on Earth. Typically, you'll find them as woody trees or shrubs, and many are perennial, living for many years, often staying green throughout the year. Think of the mighty pine trees and the fragrant cedars you might have seen. These plants have well-developed roots, stems, and leaves. Their leaves are often specially adapted, like the needle-like leaves of pines or the scale-like leaves of cedars, which help reduce water loss, especially in harsh climates. When it comes to reproduction, gymnosperms don't produce flowers. Instead, they use specialized structures called cones. There are usually separate male and female cones, which can be on the same plant or on different plants. Male cones release pollen, which is carried by vine to the female cones. Once fertilized, the ovules on the female cones develop into those characteristic naked seeds. Classic examples include the tall pines, the robust cedars, and the ancient, palm-like cycads. Now that we've covered the basics, let's test your understanding with a few practice questions. Take a moment to think about these. First, what exactly does the term naked seeds signify for gymnosperms? Second, can you name two common examples of gymnosperm plants? And third, how do these fascinating plants typically carry out their reproduction? Pause the video if you need more time to jot down your answers. Ready to deepen your knowledge? In this medium level, we'll delve into the evolutionary importance of gymnosperms, their distinguishing features, and explore the different groups within this fascinating plant lineage. Gymnosperms represent a crucial evolutionary leap in the plant kingdom. They bridge the gap between simpler spore-producing plants like ferns and the more complex flowering plants, angiosperms. Their ability to produce seeds, which offer protection and nourishment to the developing embryo, was a game-changer, allowing them to thrive in diverse land environments. They were so successful that they dominated Earth's vegetation during the Mesozoic era, often called the Age of Dinosaurs. This development of seeds and pollen was key, as it freed their reproduction from the need for external water, a major step for terrestrial life. Their defining characteristic remains the naked ovules, meaning the ovules are exposed, not enclosed within an ovary, which is how they form their characteristic exposed seeds. Gymnosperms also boast well-developed vascular tissues, xylem and phloem, ensuring efficient transport of water and nutrients throughout their often large bodies. Many species, especially conifers, show remarkable adaptations to dry or cold conditions, known as xerophytic adaptations. Their leaves often have thick cuticles, sunken stomata, and are needle-like or scale-like to minimize water loss. Their life cycle is dominated by the diploid sporophyte, which is the mature plant itself. They are heterosporous, meaning they produce two types of spores, microspores for male gametophytes, pollen, and megaspores for female gametophytes, ovules. Pollination is primarily by wind, and after fertilization, the ovule matures into a naked seed containing the embryo, nutritive tissue, and a protective seed coat. The gymnosperms are divided into four major groups. The conifers are the largest and most economically important group, including pines, spruces, firs, and cedars. They are mostly evergreen with needle-like or scale-like leaves and are known for producing resin. Next are the cycads, which look like palms with large, compound leaves. They are dioecious, meaning male and female cones are on separate plants and are often found in tropical regions. Then we have ginkgo, represented by a single living species, Ginkgo biloba *, famous for its unique fan-shaped, deciduous leaves and often referred to as a living fossil. Finally, the nettophytes are a small, diverse group including *netum *, ephedra and welwitschia *, which surprisingly share some features with flowering plants, such as vessel elements in their xylem. Alright, it's time to check your understanding of the medium-level content. Let's tackle these 5 questions. First, why are gymnosperms considered an important evolutionary link in the plant kingdom? Second, can you list 3 distinguishing characteristics that set gymnosperms apart? Third, describe the primary method of pollination they employ. Fourth, name the 4 major groups of gymnosperms and provide an example for each. And finally, how do the leaves of many conifers adapt to survive in cold or dry conditions? Take your time to formulate your answers. Now, let's step up our game. The hard-level content will take us deeper into the evolutionary significance, intricate reproductive cycles, and the profound ecological and economic roles of gymnosperms. Gymnosperms represent a pivotal stage in plant evolution, being the first true seed plants. The development of the seed itself was a revolutionary adaptation. It's a protected package for the embryo, with food reserves and a robust coat, allowing for enhanced dispersal, dormancy, and establishment in diverse and often harsh terrestrial environments. Equally crucial was the evolution of pollen, which carries the male gametophyte. This freed reproduction from the absolute dependence on water for sperm transfer, a critical step for colonizing drier land. Their dominance during the Mesozoic era, the age of dinosaurs, underscores their profound success before the advent of flowering plants. Let's look at the detailed reproductive cycle, using a pine tree as an example. The mature pine is a diploid sporophyte, bearing both male and female cones. Male cones produce microspores, which develop into winged pollen grains, the male gametophytes. Female cones contain ovules, where megaspores are produced, and one develops into the female gametophyte, containing archegonia and egg cells. Wind carries pollen to the female cone, often aided by a pollination drop. Fertilization, which can take over a year, leads to an embryo, and the ovule matures into a naked seed, containing the embryo, nutritive tissue from the female gametophyte, and a protective seed coat. Beyond their biology, gymnosperms hold immense ecological and economic importance. Ecologically, coniferous forests, such as the vast taiga or boreal forests, are critical carbon sinks, helping regulate global climate. They protect watersheds, stabilize soil, and provide vital habitats for a wide array of wildlife. Economically, their value is undeniable. Softwoods from pines, spruces, and firs are the primary source for construction timber, paper production, and furniture globally. They also yield valuable resins, which are processed into turpentine, used in varnishes, adhesives, and as a solvent. Furthermore, products like pine nuts are consumed as food, and certain species like ephedra and taxus pacificus have medicinal properties, yielding compounds like ephedrine and taxol, respectively. Many gymnosperms are also cultivated as ornamental plants in gardens and landscapes, including popular Christmas trees. To truly understand gymnosperms, it's helpful to compare them with other plant groups. Compared to pteridophytes or ferns, gymnosperms represent a significant advancement. While ferns rely on water for their motile sperm to reach the egg, gymnosperms use pollen, making them independent of water for reproduction. Ferns reproduce via spores, not seeds. When compared to angiosperms, or flowering plants, the key difference lies in the seeds. Gymnosperms have naked seeds, exposed on cone scales, with no flowers or fruits. Angiosperms, on the other hand, have seeds enclosed within an ovary that develops into a fruit, and they reproduce using flowers, often involving animal pollinators, leading to greater diversity and more rapid colonization. Angiosperms also exhibit a unique process called double fertilization. Finally, gymnosperms display remarkable adaptations to their environments. Conifers, for instance, have needle-like leaves with thick cuticles and sunken stomata to minimize water loss in cold, dry climates. Their conical shape efficiently sheds snow, preventing damage. Their evergreen nature allows photosynthesis whenever conditions are favorable, maximizing growth in short growing seasons. Time to test your advanced understanding. Here are 7 questions for the hard level. First, explain the evolutionary advantages that seeds and pollen brought to gymnosperms, enabling their success on land. Second, describe the key events in the reproductive cycle of a pine tree, from pollination to the formation of a mature seed. Third, discuss the ecological importance of coniferous forests and provide 2 examples of their economic value. Fourth, compare and contrast gymnosperms with pteridophytes regarding their reproductive strategies. Fifth, how do gymnosperms differ from angiosperms concerning seed enclosure and reproductive structures? Sixth, elaborate on 2 specific adaptations found in conifers that allow them to thrive in cold and dry climates. And seventh, what is the specific significance of the pollination drop in gymnosperm reproduction? Take your time to construct detailed answers. Welcome to the hardest level. Here, we'll dive into the cutting-edge aspects of gymnosperms, exploring their deep evolutionary relationships, intricate cellular mechanisms, ecological engineering, and their critical role in our world, including competitive insights for exams. Gymnosperms are often considered a paraphyletic group, meaning they include a common ancestor but not all its descendants, as angiosperms are believed to have evolved from a gymnosperm ancestor. This understanding reshapes our view of plant evolution. The fossil record places their emergence in the late Carboniferous period, flourishing throughout the Permian and Mesozoic eras, often called the Age of Dinosaurs. Extinct groups like the seed ferns and cycadioids provide crucial clues about the origin of seeds and the evolutionary pathways that led to modern gymnosperms and eventually angiosperms. Molecular phylogeny, using genetic data, has revolutionized our understanding, for example, suggesting that gnatophytes are more closely related to conifers than to other gymnosperm groups, challenging traditional classifications based solely on morphology. Gymnosperm reproductive biology reveals fascinating intricacies. Their pollen morphology is highly specialized for wind dispersal. For instance, the winged pollen of pines significantly increases their airborne travel. The ovules are often orthotropous or anatropous, and the integument ultimately forms the protective seed coat. Most gymnosperms possess archegonia, structures housing the egg cell, though curiously, they are absent in some gnatophytes like *netum* and *Welwitschia star. A unique mechanism is the pollination drop, a sticky fluid secreted by the ovule that captures airborne pollen, drawing it into the ovule for fertilization. Polyembryony, the development of multiple embryos within a single seed, is also common, especially in conifers, enhancing survival chances. Interestingly, cycads and *ginkgo* retain large, flagellated, motile sperm, a primitive trait that links them to their more ancient bryophyte and pteridophyte ancestors, showcasing a blend of ancient and advanced features. Ecophysiologically, gymnosperms display remarkable adaptations. Coniferous forests, or taiga, are dominant biomes in cold regions, characterized by long, harsh winters. Their evergreen nature allows photosynthesis even during brief thaws, maximizing nutrient utilization. Most gymnosperms form vital mycorrhizal associations with fungi, significantly enhancing nutrient and water uptake from often nutrient-poor soils. Their extensive secondary growth, leading to massive, long-lived trees, provides both structural support and efficient long-distance water transport through their tracheids. The biogeographical patterns of gymnosperms, especially ancient lineages like cycads, offer compelling evidence for past continental drift, with their distributions often reflecting the breakup of supercontinents like Gondwana. These adaptations allow them to thrive in diverse and often challenging environments. The economic impact of gymnosperms is substantial. Coniferous softwoods are the primary source for the global timber industry, used in construction, paper pulp, and engineered wood products like glulam. The novel stores industry, based on pine resins, yields turpentine and rosin, crucial for various chemical and industrial applications. Beyond this, gymnosperms contribute to pharmaceuticals, ephedra yields ephedrine, and the Pacific yew, Taxus brevifolia is the original source of the anti-cancer drug Taxol. Horticulturally, they are extensively used as ornamentals, Christmas trees, and in bonsai. However, these valuable plants face significant conservation challenges. Habitat loss due to deforestation, the impacts of climate change like increased wildfires and pest outbreaks, and illegal trade threaten many species, especially cycads. Conservation efforts, including seed banks, botanical gardens, and sustainable forestry, are crucial to preserve their genetic diversity and ensure their continued legacy. Now, let's challenge your understanding with the first 5 questions of the hardest level. First, discuss the concept of gymnosperms being a paraphyletic group and its implications for understanding plant evolution. Second, describe the unique features of gymnosperm reproduction, specifically addressing the role of the pollination drop and the occurrence of polyembryony. Third, explain the evolutionary significance of the retention of motile sperm in cycads and ginkgo star. Fourth, elaborate on the ecological importance of mycorrhizal associations in gymnosperm success, especially in challenging environments. And fifth, how do the xylem structures of gymnosperms, specifically tracheids, contribute to their ability to achieve great heights and long lifespans? Think critically and provide comprehensive answers. Let's continue with the remaining 5 questions for the hardest level. Sixth, analyze the economic impact of coniferous softwoods beyond basic timber, including their role in engineered wood products and chemical industries. Seventh, discuss the major conservation threats facing gymnosperms globally and outline potential strategies for their protection. Eighth, compare the life cycles of a typical gymnosperm, like a pine, and an angiosperm, highlighting at least 3 distinct differences in their reproductive mechanisms. Ninth, how does the biogeographical distribution of ancient gymnosperm lineages, such as cycads, provide compelling evidence for continental drift? And finally, 10th, research and explain one specific medicinal compound derived from a gymnosperm and its application, discussing any ethical or sustainability concerns related to its sourcing. These questions require deep thought and research. That brings us to the end of our in-depth exploration of gymnosperms. From their naked seeds to their incredible evolutionary journey and vital roles in our ecosystems and economy, we've covered a vast amount of fascinating information. I hope you feel more confident and curious about the diverse world of plants. For more such engaging and comprehensive educational content, make sure to visit synapse.omaps.in. Don't forget to like this video, share it with your friends, and subscribe to our channel for regular updates and new lessons. Keep learning, keep exploring, and stay curious.